like I have been for so long. Come on, Jack. They've been working overtime forever since childhood. And rather than trying to, you don't want to like beat yourself up about it, or grabs our attention and then we forget what we were just worried about for however long. Or it's just it's reliant on your belief in it. It's reliant on the energy of your attention in order to survive. So every time you don't believe in the tigers that the fact, yeah man, my flip-flop, my flip-flops they're so noisy, they just won't stop squeaking. I'm gonna change them out when it was like probably 5 minutes. And we were joking too about how it's like that our brain brings to these hypotheticals, which again, who are these people? It's like it would be so insane for friends changing the molecular structure of the universe by what it is that you focus on. Also, sorry I'm so stuffed up. My allergies have been crazy. See, that's like just like a current version of my squeaky flip-flops are in my nose. Come on, Jack. And we heard them, which makes me think too about them. Like, who I said this stuff to, and I wondered if never before met, when you start really seeing how safe you are and how desperately your brain tries to create ways that you might not be safe. I mean, it really is. It's another thing we were talking about on the walk, is like you get almost used to the state that you're living in. Like it survived this long doing that. And most of us like never actually call attention to our own operating systems in a way that allows us to question whether or not the ways that we've been interpreting reality and perceiving everything are actually like what we would prefer. Like maybe I don't want to live in a perpetual state of worry, even if I have been for so long. Operating system, it can all be changed. And we change it with awareness. I mean, right then I'm like walking by some people camping, and it, just a flicker of, do they think I'm a douchebag for recording myself? Hey man, even if that's the case, you're safe. That's the reality of the situation. Even if everyone on this beach thinks I'm a douche, I remain safe. And like, again, this is just the current snapshot. Come on, Jackie. This is just the current snapshot of my reality. Jack. But like, this'll be, tomorrow I'll be on to something else. And, the Tiger Factory will be manufacturing shit that I said to somebody a year ago. And not just this weekend. And performing, pretending like all this stuff is like higher probably than it's ever been. And I remember like during that sequence, and especially after, I felt myself being like exhausted. Like I was like I felt myself revert back into the way that I like was for so long in my life, and still am in many ways, but just like almost just like trying to ensure that like every interaction goes as good as it possibly could. Like every, like nothing, there's no, and again, it's all the same shit, right? Feeling like I need to make sure that there's no room for anything to have gone wrong in any interaction. And even though, like, you know, everyone that I'm interacting with, like, it's all these people are like, you know, even if we're not super tight anymore, it's like lovely to see them and stuff. But I just find myself treating the interactions with like some sort of it's almost like my own made up rubric for like how it went and then I project that into the minds of other people, and like, you know, is Sebastian still like a nice guy, or you know, was he friendly enough, or whatever it is, you know. Easy, Jack. Oh, he's seen a rabbit. Easy, boy, come here. So I found myself being like overly friendly, which I don't think it's not a problem. Like I'm a friendly person, but it's like the impetus for it. Sometimes the degree of friendliness I feel like is motivated more by trying to be fear of not being accepted. You know, like I overcorrected to try to make sure there's nothing that, you know. And again, this is why I was worrying about what my friend thought, like, about that potential misinterpretation. Is it's like all the possible ways that things could have gone slightly awry, and not recognizing that, like, you know, a lot of these friendships, you know, real friendships can withstand misinterpretation. Can withstand you not being completely upbeat and friendly all the time for every second of every moment. They can ebb and flow, and it doesn't have to be a purely positive experience that everyone has every time they're around you. But that is how I Jack's going berserk. Oh, where's the rabbit? That is so much of what my adjustment to trauma was like, okay, if I can make sure everybody likes me, then I will be safe. And while that made a lot of sense at the time, anymore, as if they're something that needs to be childhood people pleasing and stuff. And he was like, yeah, it was pretty interesting seeing you bouncing around the beer garden, because it was sort of like you were like, you know, putting in work, you know. Meanwhile, Sam's just there chilling with his wife and some of his friends, and like, you know, mostly stationary, seeing some people and like saying what's up. Meanwhile, I'm like going around the whole beer garden saying hello to everyone I've ever met in my life. It's like, no wonder you're exhausted. It's an exhausting thing to think that you need to manage every interaction you ever have. And it's exhausting that the brain can fire up ways that wasn't the case, or you mismanaged any interaction from any moment in your entire life. It can just randomly pop it up. Oh, here's another thing. Remember that one time you fucking did something that was actually totally harmless? But these two, like, you know, I mean, yes, be patient with yourself. And even if every person throughout, make sure people that I haven't seen in a decade still like me. Like, that's pretty funny. Also, like, I think that I know what to do in order to make them like me, but I don't even really know a lot of them anymore. You know? But I think, one thing I would just change is, but what do I know? And he was like, yeah, it's not hockey, or, you want people to know that it's not like that big of a deal or whatever. Meanwhile, people to know that it's not like that big of a deal or whatever. Meanwhile, I don't know anything about hedge funds, but I know that $200 million is a lot to be managing. And so it was just funny to me, watching somebody else do what I do as well, and what so many of us do, is like immediately diminishing our accomplishments. And I said it to him. I was like, dude, like, don't play that down. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. And it's like, yeah, but there's other hedge funds that manage billions of dollars. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean managing 200 million isn't significant. But it's just funny too, right? When you start watching your own brain and realize that everyone else has one too and is doing their own versions of all the type of shit that you're doing, and we're all just living in these imaginary worlds in our heads. It's like, I wonder what percentage, like if you were to take the average interaction between two human beings, like what percentage of the interaction is being experienced by the people having it versus being lived in our respective brains, worrying about what we're both worrying about what the other one thinks. Goodness gracious, I'm sniffing up a storm. Quick, end the pod, otherwise people are gonna be pissed. Heath was worried about 5 minutes with squeaky flip-flops. I've been sniffing for 45 minutes. Okay. But yeah, like it's all just relative, Jack keeps wanting to go back to this one spot. I don't know if you should be licking that, puppy dog. Anyway, well, it might actually be a good time to end it if I'm just gonna start sneezing. Yeah, check it out, man. You don't have to hit an hour for you to be allowed to post it. There's no rules. But you are also allowed to end it if you'd like. Anyway, see right there, just a flicker. How many times have you said anyway? Yeah, dude, nice. Hope you're having a good day, or night, or wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever's going on. We keep going. We keep releasing the fear, keep becoming aware of our patterns, and yeah. Happy to be on this journey with you all. I'll see you next week, unless my brain talks me out of it again.